Mary Magdalene, beloved. Mary Magdalene, you are my inspiration. We honor you today with joy and celebration. Your spirit is alive in our hearts and our minds. Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, beloved. Mary Magdalene, you are my inspiration. We honor you today with joy and celebration. Spirit is alive in our hearts and our minds. Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, beloved. Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, beloved.
Yay. Welcome, everybody. I am so happy. This is the 7th day of the summit, and this is the grand finale, but not the grand finale, because Sunday, Easter Sunday, is our final extravaganza that we do. But this is the day where we will explore the last station of the 6 station ritual. And it's been so glorious. And I so welcome all of you. Thank you so much for being part. And I know a lot of you are watching the replays, and I appreciate, because we had over 65 people register. So it's been so wonderful. And thank you for emailing me and letting me know how it's been impacting you. It's been such a joy to hear people talk about how beautiful and amazing that this journey has been. And it's been very healing for me because, when I immerse myself in the art and the beauty and the song and the dance and all the wonderful things that are a part of the divine feminine, it just heals me. It just like makes me open my heart and get stronger. So I did want to introduce you to some of our priestess sisters who have been willing to come on this program. And we have my fabulous and longtime friend, Jan Jorgensen. Jan has been a priestess of the path. She's up in Washington. Is it Washington or Oregon? And Jan you're in Washington?
Washington.
Yeah. And Jen is a nurse and a sound and light healer. And she is the woman who is representing us at the level of the national, because she actually goes on caravan and drives out and circles up with women all over the United States. And then we have our global representative, our global citizen of a world living in love. Amanda Waring is just fabulous poet, songstress, all around fabulous artist. And she is joining us from the UK. And it's very, very late in the evening for her, so she may not be here the whole time. But I so appreciate, because she has some of her artistic poetry to share with us that just warms the heart. So I wanted to share a little bit about the station itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. So what we've been exploring in the 6 station ritual is Easter through Mary Magdalene's eyes. This station, which we call the 6 station, is where we enter the gates of heaven on earth. It's supposed to be heaven on earth, not heaven in the heavens. We're supposed to be living a life based on the essence of who we actually are. We are the embodiment of love, peace, joy, happiness, generosity, sharing, abundance, all these beautiful qualities. And when we claim them and own them and live them, this is what happens that cultivates heaven on earth. So as we're seeing this rise of a patriarchy in our culture, in our time, that doesn't support, that has cruelty as a point of operation, that doesn't see the point of sharing and generosity and inclusion, we decided we needed to raise our voice. We needed to speak out. We needed to be inclusive. We needed to tell the path of love, which is the path of Mary Magdalene. And so it means it's the abundant garden of riches. And of course, we know this resurrection story that Jesus appeared to Mary in the garden, dressed as a gardener, and she mistaken him as the gardener at first. But when she recognizes him, she knows that this is her beloved, her master, her teacher, and her eyes are the first witness. Now, this was so critical to the story, because Jesus, if he really wanted to demonstrate that men are far superior to women, he would have appeared to Peter, but he didn't. He appeared to her, because women are equal. We are the same living life breath of God itself, living in us as is in any man. And so we started telling the story to fulfill the prophecy, because Jesus says that there will come a time in both Matthew and Mark when what she has done will be remembered and discussed. So, what was it that she did that was so significant? So, we began the first station with the anointing. And I just want to share with you, this is the 15th year that we're doing it. Normally, we've been doing it live, but then when COVID hit, we had to go online. And now I was told in my vision that it needs to go global, and we need you to start doing it in your communities. Bring back this lost art of anointing. So as you can see, this woman has come for her anointing. I found this over and over again, that a woman would come ready to receive an anointing, and she would just break down in tears. It was so touching. And one of the women who came to it, she told me a story afterwards. She said, I've been a sexual survivor for years, and I've never experienced sacred touch. So I had no idea what to expect. Sacred touch is where the priestess, the priest, whoever is doing the anointing, is holding you in wholeness, holding you in love. And so there is no separated self. You are one, and you are receiving a loving touch. The loving touch, that there's no funny business about this touch. It is just witnessing you as divine. And when this woman got touched, she said it was like my trauma was removed and lifted, and I was able to walk freely, walk forth among all the other stations, partaking of the joy and the beauty and the delight that happened as it unfolded. So we start with the anointing station, and of course we're following the journey of this one particular woman, because by the time the women get to the last station, here's what, I don't know if Jan, if you remember this gal, but by the time she got to the sixth station, she remembered what we've all lost sight of by not having the beauty and the passion of the priestess way, of the divine feminine way of doing things. She just burst into tears, burst into a state of ecstasy from being so moved and so touched. And it's the community that we all came together with so much joy, blessing and healing each other. There was so much love. It was just a glorious celebration that the community goes through. Even the men loved it. We always honor the men because the men are our partners. We collaborate with women. Women are collaborators. The men have nothing to worry about. If the divine feminine is in equal harmony and balance, we always include the men. We love the men. So the men would join with us, and they would have a great time. And then on the right side, you'll see the picture of Spruce, who is doing a sound healing on people that enter the last station, which is the sixth station, because we live in a sound vibrational world where we hear sound. So sound healing is a really important tool that is used to keep people in a high frequency state. And you're going to learn more about that with Jan when she talks and shares her work. But here, my dear beloved priestess sister, Pamela Minton, who is an expert in sound healing and sacred geometry, is putting the tuning forks right on the heart. And so that opens the heart, because what it means to be in the gates of heaven means that we walk with our hearts open. Our hearts are attuned to the highest frequency of vibration of love. And we go forth from there. And people are loved up and blessed. Diana Kelly was doing the Ampula blessing. That is a fabulous blessing that's given to the kings when they were ordained in the ancient times. But now she's been guided and directed to run this energy of the Ampula blessing to restore our own crowns, to our own psyches, to know that, as like Marianne Williams says, we are divine. And it is when we let our light shine that we give permission. And you see everybody in the room is just in an exalted state. They are so loving, and just the people getting loved up, it just makes them so happy. It's just like such a beautiful moment that we went through year after year. And here's one of my priestess sisters, Jenna, as people come into the area that was deemed the last station, the gates of heaven, we use the plant medicine, the plants, to bless them as they entered into the circle, and then they would sit down and receive their sound healing blessing. All the while, the musicians and singers were up on the stage just belting out their hearts, singing really fabulous gospel songs and various music. We were all in just ecstatic bliss. And then later, as the years evolved, we started to do these red candlelight. You know, the red light is considered the prostitute, right? But we're taking it over and claiming the inner light, the white light of the divine, the pure light of God is in us. And it just makes it glorious when we radiate the red light with the white light. And so we all would lift up our candles. Blessed be. We all had such a glorious time sharing this. And there we were at the altar where the rose petals were shared. That was the forgiveness altar. Then we went into the empty tomb. You remember that? And that's where we went within to get our hearts anointed and whatnot, so that we could walk forth in the gates of heaven. So thank you very much. I just reviewing these concepts and these ideas all through this, it has just been so fabulous. I hope to have people. I'm getting too old to physically. It's a lot of work to do this, but I'm hoping to inspire people to be able to, and we are the ones that we've been waiting for. It's really on us to really rise up and bring the voice. And that's why I'm going to love that you're going to get to meet Jan later, because Jan's been doing this voice release work to help women get their voice back so that they can speak in circle. And then we're hopefully encouraging women to start circling up even more and learning about these stories that we're sharing through the course of this 6 weeks. So now I would love to bring up my sister, Jan Jorgensen, who is she has been with me every single Magdalene Moonrise service that we've done over all these years from the very beginning. And so I had to ask her to come and talk about this time because, well, Jan, who's a sound and light healer, a nurse, she has a PhD, she's an oracle, the list goes on and on. Of the amazing work that you've done, Jan, has so much wisdom to share about what it is to get our voice back, to release our voice so that our voice vibrates and resonates, that people can listen to us and open their hearts to us, and then go out and gather the women. So people say to me, "What? You're just preaching to the choir." Yeah, we need the choir. We need to gather the women. This is really important. And so that gives us strength. So Jan, I'm going to turn it over to you, my dear, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Christy, thank you for seeing me. And we are all doing this work together. This is a group deal. And Christy, we have all these wonderful memories and a body of work for teaching and inspiring, but the best is yet to come. What is around the corner for us, if we hear the call, and we are hearing the call, is phenomenal, as a divine feminine is bringing things back into divine alignment. So Mary Magdalene is teaching us, and these are your words, Christy, about a world living in love, which is possible. We can see it past all the chaos. We can see the coherency, however, is through us, that this will occur. And I often use this. This is Antoinette. This is Kimberly, Amanda, Christy, and this is a team deal. There's not just one prophet, guru. No, it's women aligning with their divinity and their voice of truth. And we're going to do it together. So people here today and listening in the future, I'd like to bring you in. We're going to weave this container. On the count of 3, please say your name together, muted or unmuted. 1, 2, 3. Jan. Can you feel your sisters stepping up and using their voice and weaving together this new container of light? So I have a lot to say. Christy knows I love to talk. And what we're at is new forms. And people say, well, the forms is coming into circles in community and understanding our responsible for our own energy field and frequencies and aligning with their highest possible vibration at all times. So I made a video so I can share this. And you can see what I'm talking about. Hello, everybody from the Pacific Northwest. My heart is bursting with joy, reviewing the comments and some of the content of this Mary Magdalene Moonrise. And I believe it is a sunrise. It is bringing not just the divine feminine back, but it's ushering in the divine masculine as well. We are holding this container together, and I feel that we are regenerating as sparks of light through the lineage of Mary Magdalene, the Holy Grail, back to earth now, which means the story is coming into fruition, that humans like us, using ourselves as tuning forks, are bringing heaven back to earth. We've been doing this for 15 years. Thank you, dear Christy Michaels, and all my beloveds as part of this project. And it is time for us to create actual 3D forms, projects, processes, ritual through sacred circles and gathering. Oh my God, there's Isis. She is ringing the chimes and saying, absolutely, Spirit is with you. The heavens have never been so ready to be breathed through our voices, our movements, and our presence as emissaries and ambassadors of divine feminine light on earth to swing that pendulum back to peace, love, and harmony. So now I'm going to present a pre-recorded part because I didn't want to miss any of the fine points in outlining how we as vibrational beings can be these points of light to light up the world together, and how important our voices are. There she is again. I just love it. Spirit is so with us now. So let's get on with it and let's begin the talk on how the divine feminine, through our voices and our presence, regenerated and restored divine alignment on earth once again. Happy Easter and salutations to my dear beloved friend, Christy Michaels, everyone involved with this entire program and process and pageant done in the feminine way. So Christy asked me to talk about creating circles of connection for women. And it's a bit of a story, but we love stories. It's the feminine way. So I have recorded this so I can put pictures and help myself and you understand how important these events are as markers and goalposts to help the divine feminine be reactivated on earth, and men and women remember their core divine magic toolkit. And as we rise together and connect in these connecting circles globally, we are holding such a vibration that we can morph this. We can morph this time and space. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I know about the divine plan first. That we are the ground team in various stages of remembrance. And we promise together up in the heavens to bring heaven to earth. So that's the summary. And we're doing it through the story, through the remembrances, through the tap on the shoulder and the activations, through the Christ, Mary, Magdalene image. There are many pathways home back to source, to bring Earth back into alignment with the galactic and universal core, to take her out of isolation, where she has resided for over 200,000 years, when a group of advisory administrative controllers to oversee planet Earth shifted the geometry due to free will. And so we, a team, have come here, and when you were born on Earth, you take that pill of forgetting. And here you are, and suddenly prenatal contract and your mission to be part of the divine feminine team, to revibrate and reattune Earth back into her divine alignment. So right now things seem crazier than ever, and fear and mutant ideation and visions seemingly are coming into form in government ways. But you know, when we go to see a movie, there's always that part in the movie you go, oh, and you almost hold your breath. You think, how can this ever be restored? And usually it's restored by brave, courageous people moving their will into the full integrity of truth, beauty, goodness, and love. And this is the essence of the Mary Magdalene aspect of the story. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my personal story, because what's personal is usually relatable to other people. I was living what I thought was the perfect materialistic life, villa, Ferrari, 3 children. But things just would push me in and out of this reality to the point where I said, there's something more, and I knew I wasn't doing it. And one of my children had challenges in holding her behavior. We know now it was a genetic methylating defect where she got 2 of the genes. I have 1. Inability to clear toxins. So I was taken to the edge of sanity quite often, wanting to understand. I became a nurse, I became a minister on how to help people be balanced, how to come back to alignment. And I always had fear. I could feel what people are thinking. I was a professional singer, and it felt like the whole audience's thoughts and feelings were coming into me. And now I realize that's their projections, that's their ideas, and that is their historical programming. There comes a point in our life where we have to discern and decide to ask the Creator, what am I here for? Who am I? So when I stepped out of my 23-year marriage gracefully, it was like in The Wizard of Oz, going from black and white into color, sacred geometry. a new sense of passion, and truly was like living for probably the very first time in my life. So there's an exercise Rudolf Steiner did of you just lay in your bed and you can't move unless there is a movement, volition it's called, that's related to why you are here on the planet, your soul. For 3 days, I pretty much just laid there. And through the mist in the blinds came a dark-haired woman with a white dress. And it was a vision, my first vision. She said, Jan, you can slip into me because essentially you are me. I didn't know what was happening. It was an archetype. I'm on the team. If you're watching this, you promised to come and be the ground team to bring back up the vibration of the divine feminine that is so missing and out of balance on our planet. So in this visions, I'm in a circle, and I realize I'm being married to Christ. And now I understand this is my soul seeking Christed consciousness within this lifetime, within my own consciousness, and retooling my personality and ideas of how I thought everything worked, which is very limited based on our school systems in the Catholic Church. And I began studying and learning. And of course, it was Mary Magdalene that would come and speak to me. Mary Magdalene was the 13th physical embodiment of Isis. Isis is the main holder of the feminine for space, the feminine place, inclusivity, collaboration, co-creation, and community. Community through circles of coherently circling up. So about 20 years ago, I said, oh my God, we women have to get together and talk about the truth. We have to pump it up. And if we have to leave our lives, or don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because I wrote a book, Guy's Guide to the Divine Feminine. And I told the husbands and partners, her true path is going to win. So support her. Be the knight. Be the assistant, because you will have your awakening moment too. So it is the feminine, it's not gender specific, that is leading this movement to get real, to embody truth, beauty, love, and goodness. So this team that came down as part of the divine plan, fascinating. I realized I'm like a telephone operator and can meet people and learn what their inner dreams were of who they really thought they were. And there it is. They knew that they were here to shift things. And I say, welcome to the team. So I developed about 20 years ago. It's called SOAR, Sounding Our Authentic Resonance. Well, if we could speak without fear, if we could show up and say, the emperor's not wearing clothes. Everybody take a breath and say, finally, somebody called out the truth. If you speak to your pastor and say, well, actually, that's not quite how I feel it. Can we have a discussion? Or with your partner. So many people, 25% of the population has trauma, narcissistic personality profiles. I mean, it is amazing that we're the walking wounded at this point. But this inner impulse to move into our divinity, led through the lineage and story of Mary Magdalene, has given us this ability to forge and to keep moving. And when we are with other like-minded people waking up, we say, oh my God, that's so confirming. Oh my goodness, I thought you were woo-woo, but this is really credible, because now I'm having breakthrough thoughts, visions, and knowings. So our team gathers the energy and courage and strength when we come together. Now, Christy, you're so amazing. We've been doing these wonderful awakening rituals through love, through beauty, through shifting people into what? Fearless states, where you don't have to watch your back, where you can trust everyone. You see the pictures of the previous Magdalene Moonrise services at Unity Church, and you get that sense of oneness, selflessness, and pure love. So when Earth got shifted over 200,000 years ago, fear got introduced, and it's like a fungus, a mycelium. It's everywhere. It's in everyone. But love is a higher vibration. And through physics, higher vibrations always hold the power because lower vibrations gravitate. So I tell women, be the light, shine as bright as you can, because other people will feel it and percolate up and say, oh my God, I want what she's drinking. It just feels like there's something a little bit brighter. And you know you've had that experience yourself. So it is a vibrational conundrum. Fear vibrates very low, 200 to 400. And once you get up to 732 hertz of vibration, you pop your head through this consensus reality and look around and you say, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Christ was in his Christic consciousness. I could show you pictures of human auras of people in different vibrational states. We are learning that our thoughts hold vibration. We are learning about entanglement theories. If you're thinking about somebody, it affects them. We're learning about the quantum field, about people coming together for prayer. When I imagined the SOAR template, I said, what if there's a community where there's someone waking up and they get a visitation with someone who has a little bit more figured out, okay? So that little bit more figured out can be in 3 areas: sustainable living, leadership arts, and healing arts. So going into a community and working with a woman who has already, not a council yet, but a circle of interesting women of like, oh my goodness, this is interesting, it feels right. And they sit in a circle with that woman in community who shares, empowers, and allows for them to flower. And then she becomes a leader, a confident leader, and she can go visit, say, for instance, my community, where I have a circle, I have chairs, can sponsor her, I can interview her, I can put her on a platform. In this way, we potentize all the various communities. And it doesn't happen overnight, but in divine time, it's a blink. So for 20 years, I've been doing events and visiting communities and encouraging other women to travel, and men have to be careful because it's feminine and, you know, that's what we think, to travel and to share and encourage, inspire, and activate. And often it's through stories. Spirit itself, at the beginning of my path, when I had no idea who I was or what I was to do, and I just got a big message within a reading from my grandma Sarah, and she would jump into readings and say, Jan, something got buried a long time ago, and you were there in that lifetime, and you will find it, and it will change the trajectory of spirituality forever. So I spent a lot of my divorce money going to France, studying with Caroline Corey, a wonderful vibrational teacher, which was exceptional for understanding the divine plan. But I would go everywhere and meet with people and do sound. And over the last 20 years, ending up in Iona, which was initially a very spiritual, matriarchal social system overtaken by the Catholic Church. So I was given the message, the Holy Grail is what you've been seeking. The Holy Grail is bringing the vibration of your own Christic consciousness that opens your heart in such a way that you have overflowing, almost like champagne, the vibration of truth, beauty, love, and goodness. They said this is the return to the golden age for Earth. The Holy Grail is the restoration of the voice of the divine feminine. You just can't make this stuff up. I mean, so many things happen to me on these trips. I walked around the corner in this beautiful grotto in southern France, and there is a limestone washing, and you're looking at it right now. And I said, well, what is this? Oh my God, it's a redhead. Looks like her hair is electricity. And this little short dark-haired woman behind her, I've come to learn, that is Sarah, the daughter of Christ and Magdalene, real or as a metaphor, who knows? But she's wearing a mask. And Spirit said, Jan, you are to help take the mask off, the muzzling of the divine feminine that has been underground in the shadow, in the dark, marginalized for over 2,000 years. Because I held such fear in speaking up my whole life for many different reasons. This rang so true. So I took all the information that I had gleaned working at GLOBE, the Sound of Conscious Institute, and tracking the frequency of the female voices where I could see fear. I could see it. And I learned that if a woman has fear in her voice, she will attract the same. I developed a process called voice release, where we can sonically, through toning, release the fear profile in the body and feeling world and unconscious, so that when the divine feminine speaks, that voice lands like heaven, like honey, like manna, and opens that woman's holy grail, where heaven emerges and mists. That Christic consciousness emerges from her heart and disarms even the most powerful, angry alpha males, authoritarian dictatorships. It's the sweet mother they always yearned for. So, back to the SOAR. I said, SOAR, Sounding Our Authentic Resonant Template. And I've been doing this for 20 years. And so, yeah, since I had dark hair and it was just a sparkle in my eye, the baby, I've had so many dreams that a spirit has showed me a baby that I've let get cold, that I haven't wrapped. And the baby represents the divine feminine. It must be nurtured. And they keep saying you must take full responsibility for your part. And my part is the voice with no fear. So about 3 years ago, I launched the Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour to do what? To go into community, to visit, to teach about the voice, and also intentional creativity painting. Thank you, Shiloh Sophia. So beautiful way for women to therapeutically and artistically release everything and come to their divine alignment and personal truth. So it has progressed, and I see women non-competitively sharing and visiting other women. And just here, I'm in Utah right now. I'm on the Queen's Caravan Tour. I'm looking at my little Vardo gypsy van out here. So the last year, we developed the Oz Foundation for people. See, I'm getting better. I always want to say women, for the divine feminine to spearhead. How's that? Living in cohesive communities, off the grid or with the grid, but cooperatively with other people. We were meant to live with other people, not in fancy houses on a hill with 2 kids and all that entails. And look where that is. We are meant to live in collaborative community. So my partner in that, we would do movies and try on properties and see how many people could live here. And interestingly enough, now I am part of a 8-acre farm situation with chickens, going to get bees, with a teaching lodge house and a barn and the place we live. And we're going to start having visitations. The women in St. George says, Jan, let's come and let's set some templates. So over the years, I've developed the how to visit, the structure, how wonderful it would be to have a great divine feminine circle visitation headquarters, and I'm sure that can come. I met another woman who's doing sound healing and equine therapy in the middle of the United States. And so I'll go visit her. I visit all of these communities, and now there'll be teams. People say, oh, we want to do what you're doing. So people will come with me, and I'm encouraging them, and we create empowered circles, and we visit each other. And what this is essentially was prophesized. It's even engraved on the great temple in Egypt. When we took a tour there 10,000 years ago, the flower of life was engraved there, not by humans, but by someone or something, heavenly beings visiting, saying, this is the path home. The path home is the flower of life, of circles. And this also is the lens of Isis. Years ago, I was given this honeycomb picture. 3 women in the middle, men or women carrying divine feminine, bring forth this emerging energy. And there's circles here, then it's 9, then it's 12, then there can be councils. And it's all built on the principles of the divine feminine. So this is the story that in the future, our great-grandchildren will hear of how a courageous few listened through the veils. Mary Magdalene, and when she tapped on the shoulder and said, will you be part of a team to bring divine consciousness back to earth? And here we are, and we are doing it, and we are paving the way for a new reality on earth. So no matter what's happening externally now, earth is gold panning, and she is shaking off any vibrations that do not fit her trajectory. And the light is accelerating, and we are receiving it, and we are holding it, and this energy of the Holy Grail will save us all. So what a blessing to have this event. And thank you, Christy, for inviting me to share how this event is anchoring in very powerfully in this Marin circle. And it's going out through AI, the internet, and it is connecting all the different communities. So we are sharing and imbibing of the beautiful vibrational nectar and essence of the Holy Grail. I do love to talk, but again, thank you. And I want to invite every one of you to consider your community's opportunity to become a circle. And it's as simple. You meet. Sometimes circles are on Zoom. I myself have what I call the inner circle, where we meditate to rearrange reality. And there's teaching circles, and there's just participation circles. And in this way, we, again, are potentizing and giving different vibrational recipes, and we're baking a huge celebratory cake for a new earth in divine alignment. And it's what gets me up happy every day. It's what gets me on a road, driving 3 days in a row, putting up with everything, to expand and open to this Christed divine feminine consciousness. Summary, you're here in my studio now. The ways that I work with the divine feminine here, of course, is the Queen's Caravan. I have a new coaching program, Becoming Queen, and of course, Anashuya Isaacs, our beloved sister. She and I interview women all around the world and men doing amazing things. I want you to take this moment to consider how you are holding your own inner circle, your own voices, your own choices, and how you're aligning your will to be part of this change. So blessings on your path. I'm here. I love to meet, interview, and talk to people. And Christy, greatest respect for you and for our connection in the expanding work, which I am 1000% confident will be completely successful. Resident Anasuya, hello! Welcome to the Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour. And
Yes.
the fun is beginning.
Yes, we're just about to have a groovy good time.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing in the divine feminine with 2 queen goddesses.
Oh my God. This is the new thing. Thy queendom come,
And
thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay, let's take a little breath. It's a lot of information and talking. And I'd like to close with a beautiful, you might call it our marching orders of what is in store for you as you are saying yes to the call. My friend Deanna Williams received this. Here is what is coming next for you in essence. Your embodiment of truth. You will feel an increasing inability to suppress or soften your truth. It will rise through you like a song that insists on being sung. This won't come with conflict. It'll come with a new clarity. You'll know what is aligned and what is distortion, and you'll move from that knowing with grace and precision. Number 2, a gathering of souls is occurring. You are being magnetized into new circles, sacred connections, and co-creations. Some will arrive suddenly, recognizable like old friends that you hadn't met yet. Others will emerge quietly from the periphery of your life. These are soul collaborators. The time of walking alone is giving away to weaving together. This next one's important. Visibility without sacrifice. You will be seen not in the old platform of exposure or performance, but in the crystalline light of authenticity. As you step forward, share your voice, your frequency, your creations What you feared might be too much or too strange will be the very thing that other people have been waiting for. Your presence will be permission. Number 4, the rise of the mystic divine feminine. As the architect you're about to build, not just a dream, whether it's your healing garden, altar spaces, or gatherings, your visions want form. Number 5, reclamation of joy as your fuel. Grief and fatigue have held a long vigil, but joy is returning, not the surface kind, but the wild, sacred pulse that reminds you you're alive and part of something beautiful and growing. You will find joy again in the tiny, the tender, and the magical, and the joy is your medicine and your fuel. Beneath it all, there is a deeper merging happening between your human self and your higher self. The separation between guidance and you is fading. You are becoming the channel and the message. We receive this message, we embody it, we let it fill our hearts to the brim. Our hearts are becoming the Holy Grail, and so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Oh my God, Jan, you make me cry. That was such a powerful talk. And that was my second time listening to it. And I highly recommend that when people get the replay or the YouTube video of this, that you go back and watch it again, because you put forward so many exquisite jewels of wisdom and nuggets of truth that my eyes kept getting open, my ears, my heart, everything. It's like I was hearing it for the first time. And as you saw in those pictures, we've been together from the beginning. Probably in past lives, I don't know, but
Spring chickens to wise crones.
yeah. And in honoring of what this call is about, I think one of the most critical, essential things that we need is we need the wisdom and the courage to carry it out. I mean, that's even part of the 12-step program, right? We sought for prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God, but we asked for the wisdom and the courage to carry it out. So I'm going to ask Amanda to come and join us, because Amanda is a beautiful sister who I have met and through the global network. She is a global citizen. She works globally through the unity.earth and God knows how many other organizations, Samantha, that you're involved in. But sometimes I was going to have you come on and say the poem of courage before, but now I understand why the poem of courage is needed now.
Yeah.
Because people are activated. At least I'm activated. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm activated that there is something we're being called and asked to do. It's of a higher order. It's of a higher frequency, a higher vibration. And the world needs it. It's calling on us to do our part, to bring the harmony and the balance. In the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, there's one thing that she says, it's a one sentence, very simple, very short. Be in harmony. Do you know how difficult that is to just claim it and own it? That means you have to let go of all grievances. You have to let go of all, and bickering and everything. And so, Jan, I loved what you said about women coming together in a non-competitive way. We stop competing with each other. and we collaborate with each other. We're there for each other as support and healing, but that requires us to gather. If we don't gather, if we don't come together, it's not going to happen at the level and quality that it can. So we're gathering with our sister Amanda from the Ukraine, and please go to her website. I would put in the chat. You want to say what your website is, Amanda?
Yes, lovely. I love that you said I was from the Ukraine because I'm from the UK, not the Ukraine.
Oh, did I say Ukraine?
You did, but
Oh,
that's exquisite that you said that as well, and there may be a reason for that as well. I do work all around the world, and my poems and songs reach wherever I hope they find themselves there as well. But yes, I'm from the UK, from England, and I am really honored. Thank you so much for asking me to be part of this incredible event. And every woman that has spoken and shared, I am buzzing with inspiration
yeah.
and motivation. And I suppose my part of this piece, or my piece of this part, is to share my art, which you may gather is poetry, poetry and medicine songs. So I'm going to share this poem that I only wrote on April the 4th, so very recently, feeling the need for this dialogue to come in. And I'll just start, as I do with all my poems, with a few words of song, and I'll end with a few words of song, just to bring in again the divine feminine.
All right. So I just want to just say thank you so much, Jan. And I am going to spotlight you, Amanda, now to take it away with this beautiful poem of bringing in courage. So thank you, my beloved Jan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Courage is contagious. Courage is contagious. It's not advantageous to hide in the shadows. Reside in the light, in full flight, full bloom, not entombed, but voicing freedom, dancing freedom, planting seeds of wisdom, not planting weeds of war. Cultivate courage. Do not be discouraged. Become the ripple in the ocean that starts a wave of motion. Courage is contagious. It's not outrageous to think you make a difference. Together, just like birds of a feather, starlings on the wing, we can sing and shapeshift into a larger thing, into anything, voicing reason and something to believe in. Courage is contagious, and so is love in action. Let's start a chain reaction, not built on distraction, but engagement in rebuilding. With hope and community, we will create a path to unity. Courage is contagious. May that spark of courage held within your heart ignite the dark, light up the night, joining other beacons, standing up for what is right. Courage is contagious. Courage is contagious. Courage is contagious. Hey ya, 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 oh. Thank you.
That was amazing. And the wording couldn't have been more appropriate. And it's just incredible that you have joined us at this auspicious time. And the poem is actually up on your website, isn't it?
That one is not yet. The other poem, Dear Family, is. I'm just about to get that up on the website, but there's a recording of me doing it on my YouTube channel, which is Amanda Waring Films, and there's lots of my videos and poems and meditations, and encouraging women to gather together, like Jan was saying, envisioning New Earth being Earth and dancing Earth into being, and feeling the radiance of what is actually our natural frequency. So I am running coaching programs on the courageous heart and ways in which women can now find their courage. So please be in contact with me, and I'll send out details soon.
Thank you. Courage is so needed. And we have some courageous women. This next part that I wanted to go into is making a wonderful announcement that I'm going to be a published author. I got a chance to work with this incredible woman, Astara, who runs the Flower of Life Publishing Press. And she has published a lot of Kathleen, well, she just got through publishing one of Kathleen McGowan's books, The Berlin Heresy, and she's, publishes and raises the voice of the feminine and women to bring their messages through. And so I joined on with her in an anthology she's doing, and my chapter, which will be called A Peek Behind the Veil, is a chapter that explains the whole process, all the visionary, mystical things that happened before I received the vision for the Magdalene Moonrise service, and then how I implemented it and what happened and what the 6-station ritual was about. But Astara, who was not able to come today, sent me a video, giving a little 5-minute video where she's going to explain to you about her vision for this work. And I haven't even seen, it's hot off the press. So I'm going to just share my screen now and let her tell us about it.
Hello, beloveds. I'm Astara Jane Ashley, and I'm so honored to introduce you to the Magdalene Unveiled anthology, Discover the Path of Love, Healing, and Feminine Power. This book is more than just a collection of stories. It's a sacred invitation, a remembrance. Magdalene Unveiled was born from a moment of deep surrender when I was on the anointing table in Glastonbury, England, the mystical Isle of Avalon. And in that sacred space, the presence of Magdalene and Yeshua came to me, and I just heard the words, "Beloved, just do it, just make the offer." And so that moment really changed everything for me, because it called me into a deeper trust and knowing that I was to steward this vision forward and to invite other sisters to link arms with me so that we could do it together. And so this anthology gathers 33 voices of women who have walked the path of devotion, healing, loss, radical embodiment. And each chapter is a transmission, a rose petal in the bouquet of the Magdalene's living legacy. And so together we're unveiling her essence with this project, not just as a figure, historical figure, but as a living frequency of love and liberation that still walks with us today. And so my vision for this book is to ignite remembrance and to call home the priestesses, the healers, the artists, the wisdom keepers, those who know they carry this lineage, and to also offer a sacred text for these times, an archive, something that will last beyond our time here on this planet, and offer the ancient wisdom and modern initiations that are so deeply needed. So this is a book for those who are ready to walk the path of the heart, to rise in sisterhood, and to reclaim their voice as a vessel of the divine. Magdalene Unveiled releases on her feast day this year, July 22nd, and I invite you to walk with us, and I'm so thrilled to be on the journey with you. Thank you.
We're going to have a bit of a time here to be able to have kind of reflections and a chance to talk a little bit about what just transpired. So, Jan, I would love to hear your reflections or any thoughts. Jan?
I just wanted to bless everyone and acknowledge how they're taking their own puzzle piece as part of this repositioning of the divine feminine, the spiritual and organized religion. I mean, how powerful, how courageous. Working with women, with your voice, the indigenous, the so important. And Christy, your flawless leadership for so long. And my work with the voice. We need each other. It's truly a blessed team. And the more that each of us chisels our mastery, we can be seen even brighter and plugged in to assist and support others. I did pull a card, and it's Divine Feminine Leadership. Out of everything, I could have chosen 48 cards. Finding your voice of light. And the affirmation is, my voice is my magic wand in all realities.
No, show us the card. Hold it up because it was really great that there you go. She's made these beautiful cards on the divine feminine.
It's a queen, and she's juggling many, many, many things in her life, and it's exhausting. And so when we find our voice of light, truly, it's like specializing, getting really good at something, and then you get invited to travel and present it to someone. It's new and exciting. I mean, it's win-win for everyone.
You know, Jan, I think what you when you said about the fear that came in, the mycelium, that the fear just kind of worked its way in and got its nerve roots and it just regulated our nervous system. You are a master of regulating nervous systems. You know, I mean, these skills we need to learn from each other because when somebody is faced with fear and they need some courage, sometimes they just need to regulate their nervous system. And so I hope people will reach out to you and take your workshops and find out more about what you work. But you want to say any closing thoughts on this? You knocked it out of the park, girl, with your workshop.
I'd like to say that science taps out at a certain level, and my inquiry was how to get rid of fear. How can I get rid of fear? And I learned working at the bedside at hospice, I let go of fear. And I found a new voice, a freedom. I said, if I can release the fear of dying, can I help women release the fear of living and finding their voice? So I took it to task, how to remove fear from the body. And an archangel came and showed me this simple toning process that I take out with the 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐿 Spiritual Walkabout Tour. It's key. If we speak with the truth, people relax. If we speak with fear, they're triggered and they retreat. So our voices are a calling card now. And I love hearing everybody's voice. I am an expert. You guys are empowered and fearless. You're the perfect leaders. Here we go.
Here we go. So thank you everybody for joining us. But thank you everyone. Blessings. Hey.
The best is yet to come.
Happy Easter.
Totally.
Blessed be.
Bye-bye.